truthfully, I didn't want to go to the park today. I didn't want to go to the gym today, to be honest with you. But I still went. As I was working out, I kind of had a thought about my future. And, regarding my future, I don't want this thing, right? I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with everything that comes with it. So it left me asking, I did not ask for this, so why is it my responsibility, right? But if okay, I didn't ask for this, but it's still my responsibility, right? And even though I may not have asked for this, when have I ever asked to receive a gift? You know what I'm saying? So when I say that, the difference between owing something and doing it strictly out of agency for yourself, like strictly because you want to do this. And this goes back to just how I view life in general. It's all about experiencing and, picking the choice that you feel is best for you. It does not have to make sense to anyone except you. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of my thoughts have been leading me to make a choice that a lot of people would not agree with. You know what I'm saying? And it's strictly just because of myself. And I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm more than okay with being selfish for myself. I don't feel bad for that. I don't feel like I owe that to somebody. I feel like, hey, if this is my choice, let it be my choice. You know what I'm saying? However, I do like to play both sides, okay? I do like to, if I'm agreeing to this or if I'm not agreeing to this, right? If I'm agreeing to this, I'm doing this because I want to do this. I want to be held responsible for this. If not, I'm still going to be held responsible for it, but I'm still making the choice that I feel is best for me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this year has been circling the idea of choices. And whether good or bad, I don't really see that. I don't really see a good or a bad choice. I see both choices being heavy to deal with in general. And it left me sitting here like questioning myself, questioning my character. Like, okay, if I'm doing this, I have to like understand why I'm doing this. Like, not just because I don't want to do it. There has to be more to it than that. Because we do plenty of things even if we don't want to do it. Right? Right. However, we're talking about a complete shift of my trajectory. Now, whether that shift is necessary or not, I don't know. It seems to be necessary because it's happening. You know what I'm saying? However, a lot of me is telling me this isn't it. Like, a strong part of me is telling me this isn't it. And I'm not sure if that's just because I already did not want this or it's because I just truly understand what comes with this. I know the art of doing something, even when you're not ready, is very beneficial to the human. It forces you to break and rebuild. However, I feel like it's also a commitment too. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know you aren't committed to that and you're not ready, maybe breathe, take some time for yourself. It just leaves me like wondering how different would my life be. And I know I can't think on it like that because I truly don't know. I don't know anything about the future. All I can do is simply be here and question the thoughts that I do have surrounding it. But I also want to acknowledge that I do think it's fear. I think it's a lot of fear and anxiety and nerves circulating around the idea of my future and what's to come with it. Whether that's myself or other people, is definitely a fear. It's an anxiety because I prefer my solitude. I don't like the idea of someone having access to me when I don't want them to have that access. You know what I'm saying? I feel like anybody would hate that, but that's my situation, So it's leading me to ask, like, do I fold? Not fold, but do I fold or do I stand for what I think is best for me? You know what I'm saying? When I say fold, I mean like surrender. Not in a, not in like a war way, in a way of like stop resisting life, you know? Stop resisting what's the inevitable. You know what I'm saying? Because what's done is done. You know, you sitting here going back and forth about it isn't going to change the fact that it's coming. However, you feel like your choice is a drastic play to how smoothly this turns out. You know what I'm saying? And my whole thing is like, I don't want to say I'm there and then not be there. You know? I don't want to say like, yeah, I'm here, I'm ready for it, when in my head, I know I'm not. In my head, I know I never asked for this. I never wanted this. I feel nothing for this. If anything, I feel apathy. I don't feel anything. I want to just forget it. I want to just forget it. I feel very detached from, honestly, just life in general at the moment. I feel very detached. But this, my future and what's to come with it, I feel even more detached. And I feel like it's definitely a defense mechanism, but I'm still asking myself like, okay, I'm not in a position where I have to do something. I'm in a position where it's in my possession, so it's my responsibility. What I do with that responsibility is up to me. Whether I choose to be there, whether I choose not to be there, whether I choose to give that to someone else, that's my choice of responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not really sure I want that responsibility. And it's not because, like, I don't think I can do it. It's just because I know I don't want it. I know I don't have the passion for this that I feel like you should have. And that's kind of scary. It's really scary because it makes me think of, like, how common it is to, like, these situations to play out where two people are on such different pages, where one innocent is like still not really, like, one innocent, right? There's two people who play the part, but there's one innocent who gets caught in the crosshairs of that. And whether you stay or not, they're affected by it. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate because it shows me the type of person I had been up until now. But it also shows me like, okay, you have an opportunity to change. You have an opportunity to grow. You have an opportunity to be there for someone in a way where in a way you wish someone could have been there for you. Sorry, words. I be thinking faster than I talk sometimes. However, I just really wanted to speak on this because, you know, when I come on here talking about I'm mad and I'm upset and I'm pissed off, it's everything to do with this. It's a certain level of resentment, animosity that I feel. And recently it's been better. Recently I've been able to express it and reel it back in. I haven't been out like before 2 weeks ago. I was not able to do this. I was not able to talk so calmly about it and move on, you know? And that's one thing I have noticed that I am grateful for. But it also makes me realize that I'm a lot more content with whatever choice I decide to make. Because whether I make this choice or this choice, my life is going to continue. And so will that life. And it's not a matter of making or breaking it. It's just a matter of how different the upbringing will be, you know? And of course, a part of me is like, I want to help be there because I don't trust this person nor the people they surround themselves with to handle this job by themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a part of me feels like I need to be there. And not even just that, but because like it's important for both parties to be there for that innocent. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, it just keeps going back to this. If you truly did not want this, but you're forcing yourself to be here. Can I truly be grateful for this thing that never really truly made me happy? Not even, okay, let me rephrase that. How can I be truly happy? Oh, let me think of how I want to phrase this. I'm sorry, bro. If I never truly asked for this, could I ever be truly grateful for what it made me? You would think yes. I mean, I would say yes, right? But it's just, I don't know. Like, naturally, I would say yes, right? But I don't know. I don't know. Because it's not just adding a new life. It's sacrificing your life. You know? It's bringing in another layer of responsibility, fatigue, emotional, mental, physical dependency. It's a layer of weight that I did not ask for. And I'm not saying that's everything to like having a kid, but just in a very neutral standpoint, like, it's a lot. And it's a lot more when you aren't together, you aren't independent, you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, both parties aren't on the same page. That's a lot. That's a lot more than what it needs to be. And like I said, two parties' actions, one innocent gets caught in the crossfire because two irresponsible individuals, me included, is it just sucks. And so it kind of leads me into another question where it's like, do we truly owe anyone anything? And again, some people would just say yes automatically, like, but truthfully, you don't. You don't. And I know that's a crazy thing to say. That's a crazy thing to say. It's more like you are given the opportunity to repay. You know what I'm saying? It's never a you owe. It's never an obligation. People frame it that way because they want it to seem like this is the right thing. You know what I'm saying? How often do we make a choice that's right by society that isn't right for us? Does that make sense? And the last thing I want to do is try to fake this position until I actually feel like this was worth it. Because what if that feeling never comes? You know what I'm saying? What if every time I see this, I'm just thinking about how different my life could be if this wasn't here, if this never happened? And I feel like that's where I'm at. Now, granted, it could be a whole different situation a few months later down the line, but this is me just speaking, like, just trying to challenge the thought, because I feel like this is a very delicate conversation, but I actually like to speak on conversations like this because people are so quick to go right or wrong. Like, oh, you're right or you're wrong. You shouldn't have done this. You should have. It's very nuanced. You know what I'm saying? Because even when you communicate, even when you say the right things, it could still lead to these things. You know what I'm saying? And it just goes back to like that agency word. Like don't do anything because you don't not want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Or, did I say that right? Don't do anything because you don't exclusively not want to do it. So, you know what I'm saying? So, oh God, I feel like I'm confusing myself. All right, look. So agency is all about doing something because you exclusively want to do it, right? And not doing it even when you aren't exclusively saying, I don't want this. You know what I'm saying? You're still choosing not to do it because you know you don't fully want this. You know what I'm saying? That's not just with like one aspect of life. That's with everything. And you know, sometimes you have to be able to be honest with yourself. Like, do I want this or do I not want this? You know? I can wholeheartedly say I don't want this. And I can say that time and time again and still be in this situation, which is fine, because at the end of the day, that is not my choice to make. You know what I'm saying? However, it is my choice to decide whether this is right for me. Not this person, not you, but me. And I understand what people will say, that's selfish, that's this, that's that, the third. That's fine. That's fine. You can view me as selfish. You can view me as the bad guy. You can view me as the villain. That's completely fine with me. I promise you. My main thing I wanted to do was come on here and simply question myself, because since this morning has started, or not even this morning, since I found out about this situation and the way it unfolded, it's left me playing both sides of the coin. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate to see how common these types of situations are because of how much we normalize degenerate shit. You know what I'm saying? And I was actually a part of that degeneracy, and now I see that for what it is, and I'm trying to do better. However, I don't think doing better is necessarily taking up a role I didn't agree to. You know what I'm saying? Did I sign up for it? Technically, yes. I will hold the accountability where it's needed. I'm okay with that. However, I did try to communicate. I did try to handle it the responsible way as best I could. And I'm at a point where I got to make a decision now where it's like, am I here or am I not here? You know? So, my main thing, or aside from what I initially said, that shit does not have to make any sense to anybody except for you. I feel like we hold ourselves to the standards of other people and not the standards of ourselves. It's not an easy choice whichever way you go. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. It's very hard. And all you can do really is the best thing that's for you. Whatever is best for you, do that. And whatever he says or she says, fuck them. Excuse my profanity, but fuck them. Because they're not you. They don't know what you're going through. They don't know what you went through coming up to this. They weren't in your shoes for this. They don't know how you got to this. Give yourself grace, give yourself understanding, because a lot of times we will bash ourselves before other people can, just so we beat someone else to the punch because we know it's coming. However, people are going to criticize you whether you're doing what you feel is the right or the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? People are going to bash you for simply doing you, bro. That's life. And if people are bashing you, maybe you're doing something right.